y'all, and welcome to today's video. It's gonna be a fun one. We're gonna talk about makeup red flags. Things I see in makeup, maybe marketing, advertising, descriptions of products that is kind of a red flag to me. Something that I'm like, kind of makes me pause, think about it, maybe something that annoys me. I thought this video would be super fun to do. This video was done first by Lauren May Beauty. This was her idea, and actually I was sitting talking to my friend Angelica Nyqvist, and we were both kind of like looking on our phones, looking at some new makeup, and I was like, oh, this gets on my nerves when blah, 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 blah. And she was like, you have to do the red flag video. She was like, Lauren May Beauty did it. I just did it. You would have a lot of fun with this one. So I'm like, oh, so I went and watched Lauren's videos. I love her channel, but I had it on my watch later list. So I was like, okay, let me watch it. Let me see the red flags. So I will link Lauren and Angie's videos down below. And I agreed with a lot of the things they said, but I thought it would still be fun to share my thoughts, my opinions, my little red flags with y'all. I think it will be fun. Just remember, this is all lighthearted, and if some of the things that I talk about are things that you actually like to see a makeup product claim or a marketing from a brand this way, that's totally okay. And if you're new here, I want to say, hey, my name is Heather, and makeup makes me happy here at my channel. We don't try to be perfect. We just want to have a good time with our makeup, whatever that means. I have been uploading new videos every single day, but usually I upload 5 or more videos a week, so I do hope that you will subscribe before you leave today. But I'm really ready to talk about some red flags, so let's jump into it. Okay. Again, this is fun, this is lighthearted, this is not me trying to be super negative, but when I think about red flags, I have to talk about when makeup brands launch complexion products as shade adjusting or some type of technology where it's like shade adjusting technology to match every skin tone. The one I think about the most, although lots of brands have done this in different ways, is Almay. Almay, the brand, they had come out with some complexion product. Hopefully I can like pop a picture up, and it was like smart technology, shade adjusting, works for every skin tone. And unless a product is clear or it maybe has a little bit of color to it, but it's like a primer and you're going to cover it up with something, that is ridiculous marketing, you know. And I'll even say I recently bought a product that kind of had this claim. Let me grab it. It's the Peter Thomas Roth Instant Firmer No Filter Primer, and it says it's a universal tint. Now it's mostly clear. It has a tiny bit of shade to it, but I'm like, universal tint. So I think anybody could use this, of course, because you're just going to cover it up with like your foundation, your concealer, or something like that. But sometimes these makeup brands market it like there's these pigments and then you're going to put it on your skin and I'm going to be able to use it. Somebody as fair as Snow White is going to be able to use it. Somebody with a deep dark tan is going to be able to use it. Somebody with deep dark skin is going to be able to, and it's like, the product is in a bottle. It's not like there are computers in here and you're putting the product on your face and the computer's like reading your skin tone and self-adjusting. Or I'm not gonna pump this out, put it on my face. A makeup artist isn't gonna magically appear and pick the right shade. It's pigments in there that they're hoping will cover like 3 to 6 skin tones maybe. But a product that has shade, pigment, color to it is not going to match everybody's skin tone. So whenever I see that, I'm like, red flag, red flag, red flag. This is a weird claim. Again, a red flag doesn't mean I'll never buy a product like that. It just means I kind of give it the side eye and I'm like, let me look into this a bit more. Okay, a red flag for me is when a product says all natural in makeup. I don't want all natural, okay? Nature, I've said this before, nature tries to kill me every day. Science keeps me alive. Medication, changes to my life. I have a ton of allergies. Listen, poison ivy is all natural. I don't want to put that on my face or my eyes. You know what I'm saying? People who are allergic to strawberries are all natural. Sometimes I think people forget, like, you can be allergic to so many things. And so when I see all natural, I'm like, ugh, they're just trying to use that like fear-mongering, clean beauty type of thing. And it also usually means the product will expire super quickly. Now, of course, we know all makeup has like expiration dates. I personally don't follow those. I will use a product until I'm like, oh, this is probably expired. You know what I mean? Or it's gone. But all natural, no preservatives means that product's probably not going to last a long time. I know I've seen people point that out with Kosas products because a lot of their products were expiring super quickly. And I'm like, you know what? I don't need all natural. I have science. Okay, here's another red flag, and we don't see this one quite as much anymore, but it's when foundations claim to be like 8-hour wear, 10-hour wear, something like that. And I'm like, that's a no for me. When I see foundations that claim to be 24-hour wear, I'm like, yes, come to mama. Now, does that mean I'm wearing my foundation every day for 24 hours at a time? No. But what that usually means to me is my oils aren't going to break the makeup apart quickly. The humidity, because I live in a humid place, the humidity is not going to break the makeup up super fast. It has some long wear stuff. So when I see foundations specifically that claim to be 8 hours of wear, 10 hours of wear, I'm like, no, absolutely not. Usually on a day-to-day basis, I have my makeup on at least 12 hours. I would say 10 to 16 hours, sometimes longer, of course, but that's usually what I want. I'm usually doing my makeup in the morning, taking it off before I go to bed at night. So if something's like 10 hours of wear, no, it's not going to be for me. Okay, here's another thing that is always a red flag to me because we're seeing this so much, and that's when a brand posts, our viral product is back in stock. Viral. And I feel like we're seeing that a lot now with TikTok, but we've seen before with YouTube viral. We've seen before with Instagram viral, Facebook viral. Like it's always something. And I mean, TikTok just seems to be the new thing. So a lot of brands are saying TikTok viral, but I'm like, viral products. People will say that about anything sometimes. I was just like, when me and Angie were talking, one of the things I was like, oh, this gets on my nerves, is I had got like an Instagram ad, and it was for a primer, and it was a brand I had never heard of. Not saying I know every single makeup brand out there, but it was like, our viral sold out product is finally back in stock. And I'm like, but how viral can it be? Like, I am on social media throughout my day, almost every single day. I'm like, I've never even heard of this brand or this product. So I'm like, just because somebody uses it or maybe the product sells out, does that mean it's viral? Does that mean it's viral? I'm just thinking about certain products that I'm like, yes, these things did go viral. A lot of people were hyping this product up or that product up, but I'm like, I don't know. I feel like sometimes brands will just slap our viral product just to like hype you up and try to get you to be like, oh, this is viral. Oh, it's sold out. It's back in stock. I better buy it. Even though it's not a product you want. It's not a product you need. But I feel like they're trying to cash in on that like, ooh, everybody else loves this. Don't you love it too? Don't you want to buy this? You better buy it real quick because it's viral. It may go out of stock. So again, I understand why brands do it. And like I said, with all of these things, I understand why makeup companies do these things because they want you to buy, right? So I understand that. But as a consumer, it's a red flag. Okay, here's another one. Here's another one that, you know, I'm sure a lot of people won't agree with me on, and that's okay. That's okay. But when people say, oh, it's a pressed pigment, it's different than an eyeshadow, I understand. I understand, because there have been so many creators, and I'm thinking specifically of ABH with Subculture. I really enjoyed the Subculture palette. I know a lot of people hated it. I really enjoyed it. And that's, like, makeup is so personal, right? But on the whole, I would say, like, if you're looking at everything overall, the Subculture palette from ABH was getting a lot of negative reviews at the time. And Norvina, who is, I don't, CEO, creative director, I don't know. She is Anastasia Beverly Hill's daughter, came out and was like, oh, they're not eyeshadows, they're pressed pigments. So it's a great palette. Y'all are just using it wrong. You don't know about pressed pigments. And that worked on those of us living in the US. It didn't work on me, okay? But it worked on a lot of people in the US because the FDA is behind. Let's be honest. The FDA is behind here. So ingredients that are safe in the EU, other parts of the world, they're like, yeah, it's an eyeshadow. But here in the US, the FDA, they're so behind. They're like, we haven't approved these for the eye use. You can't call them an eyeshadow. They're pressed pigments. But what ABH was trying to do is act like, oh, this is something so new. This is something so different. So it's not a red flag to me when something is labeled a pressed pigment, because I understand why they have to legally, right? You have to say it's a pressed pigment. You may have irritation to these. They may stain the eyes. Of course, if people that have allergies, that's a different story. You got to know your own allergies. But it's always a red flag when a brand or a creator, let's say, is you know, like doing their shadow and they're like, oh, you know, I can't get this to blend. But it's a pressed pigment. Pressed pigments are a little harder to work with. What? Or when you see like a brand say, oh, you know, you need, if you're going to use this palette or thing, you have to use this special primer. You have to use it this certain way. It's a pressed pigment. And I'm like, but everywhere else in the world, like, it's just an eyeshadow. Like, come on, you know? So that for me is like a little bit of a red flag. I understand it. Like I said, you have to comply with the laws, especially here in the U.S. Well, everywhere, but in the U.S., you know, they're not approved. So I just always am kind of like, when a brand is like, oh, you may not know how to work with these, you may not be able to do this. It's amazing, but your skill can't keep up with the pressed pigment. You know, it's always a little irritating. I watched a video from Robert Welsh not too long ago. I want to say sometime this month, and he talked about this as well. He talked about like, oh my gosh, I'm so over people saying like, it's a pressed pigment, you don't know how to work with it. And I was just like, yes. So that is my list. I thought this was fun. I just wanted to do this quick little video. Again, you can talk about your red flags down below in the comments. I would love to hear them. Or what type of marketing thing, when you see it, are you like, no, I'm gonna have to look into this further. So I would love to hear from you. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you're having an amazing day. I will tell you quickly what is on the rest of my face. That way I don't forget, because editing Heather will forget to do this. But I'm wearing the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette right here. I did film this tutorial. I just have to edit it. But it should be on TikTok now. And yeah. That's what's on my eyes. I'm wearing my, I'm wearing my Tarte Sculpt Tape Contour. I have the shade Warm Bronze. I'm wearing my One Size Bronzer Trio. And I'm dropping stuff. For blush and highlight, I'm wearing Pat McGrath Divine Blush and Glow Cheek Palette in Divine Rose. I just use this for blush and for highlight today. I love this palette. And then on my lips, I have ABH Lip Liner in Dusty Rose with Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip Cream in the shade Mauve. All right. I'm so happy I did not forget. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you very soon in another video. Bye.